Hey, welcome to Atomic Enrollment. CMO Tom No here. Today we're going to be going over how we're building our social enrollment operating system for a medical and dental assisting school in New York. We're just going to walk you through top to bottom of how our entire operating system of building scalable and predictable enrollment machines for trade, vocational, and career schools from top to bottom. So to start, we're generating qualified calls for about $70, and we're about 2/3 of the way of building out the entire operating system. So that eventually could go down a little bit more, but that's still a great place to be. Most importantly, about 40% of those people that they talk to are immediately scheduling a tour in person coming, saying, yes, I'm coming to visit the school. Now, the main challenge wasn't simply just getting more leads. At this point, hopefully you know that getting more leads, cheap leads, isn't the answer. Although they definitely needed more volume, the bigger challenge was turning interest into actual enrollments. A school can generate hundreds of leads, but if the leads don't book calls, don't show up, don't schedule tours, enroll, the leads don't mean anything. So our goal was to improve the entire enrollment journey, but most importantly, make it predictable. You put in an investment and you get X amount of investment back, predictably. And you could predictably fill seats and turn the levers up and down depending on how many more enrollments you need. So our process of building the social enrollment operating system is one, it starts with understanding the student deeply. For close to the past decade, we've been studying how do we get more students, more enrollments, more revenue for trade, vocational, and career schools. It's all we think about every 24 hours. So we understand this industry, this market, this type of school, this type of training. We work with multiple different DA and MA programs. So it starts with understanding the student very clearly. As we see here through our brief, through our research, we understand the student very deeply, and we have already a solid understanding from the jump of why a potential student, who's the ideal type of student and why would they enroll in this? And why would they pick this school over other competing schools? So for this school, includes recent high school grads. That's becoming a very robust segment of the market for most training trade schools. New moms, new dads, working adults who are tired of unstable jobs, more predictable schedules, careers, and people who just want a real career, work in an office predictably. They're just not simply looking for a class, right? They're looking for an outcome, looking for a better life. They're looking for stability, better income, and just a clear path into healthcare. So next, then it starts with identifying and drawing out the strongest propositions, value propositions of the school. The school specifically has been operating for over 20 years. And, when we first start, not only do we understand the school, but we understand the market and their competitors, because that's what the students are going to be shopping around for, right? So the school has been operating for over 20 years. It offers accredited medical and dental assisting programs. Financial aid is available for those who qualify. There's day and evening classes, which is important for working adults and parents. The program includes externships, so students can get real experience working inside medical and dental offices before graduating. The school provides job placement support. One of its strongest claims is that, and they back this up publicly, is 88% of graduates find a job within 30 days of graduation. And this is important because the biggest question students have is, will this program actually help me get a job, right? Now, we took that and we're going into creating the ads for social media advertising. For this client, we started on meta ads currently. So once we understand the audience and the strongest selling points, we create direct response video ads. And the goal is simple. We want the right person to stop scrolling on their newsfeed and get them interested in learning more. The ads speak directly to people and the avatars who want stable healthcare careers but don't want to spend 4 years in college. And we talk about the outcomes and the results and the unique values, unique selling propositions of the program. And these are the creative formats we're going to use. Remember, the core of why social media advertising is better than any other type of advertising, let's say Google Ads, is because you can build and create the nurture on the front end. You need people to consume content to get people excited and believers in your school. And the best way to do that is force feed content through social media advertising. Because on Google Ads, if someone's searching, you can't really force them to watch a video on the front end. So we create different hooks, speaking to different avatars. We circle them on the front end with the videos. And then next step, we draw them into our mini webinar. From the ad, we send the prospect to a short landing page like this, where we give them a deep dive and they watch about an 8-minute video, deeper dive into the program and why it's great. They get some questions answered, they have FAQs, but most importantly, we want people to watch this video. It explains the schedules, financial aid options, externship career opportunities. The ads create the interest and stops the scroll. The mini webinar builds the trust and conviction. And you keep the page simple. Less is more, because we want them to watch the video most importantly. We're drawing out key points on the page, but we want to keep it short and sweet. Key points of why they wouldn't watch the video. So we want to get people back into the video. We don't want to overwhelm prospects with too much information. Schedule a 15-minute info session. On the call, it's a 15-minute call, not 30 minutes, 15 minutes. That way you can optimize your time and schedule. That goal is to discuss goals, tuition, financing, preferred programs, which program they're going to go into, schedules. So right now we're getting qualified calls for about $70. Most importantly, 40% come in for a tour. That means out of every 10 qualified calls, 4 people come in for a tour. Now, what happens after the call is booked? It's very important. They come to a page like this, just reminders, just builds more conviction about the program, asks some frequently answered questions, also draws them into the website just to get them prepared for the call and more about the school. Because just booking the call doesn't mean, they're fully convinced yet alone going to show up for the call. So every point of your funnel needs to build trust and conviction. Don't waste any second of your funnel. Every second, every point, every pixel of your funnel needs to build trust and conviction. Don't waste even a pixel. So for example, what you put in here in the descriptions, what happens right after they book a call, what emails go out is very important. Also, we want to build connections with leads faster if possible, right? Instead of waiting for the call to happen a day or two later. Who knows what could happen in between then? They're shopping schools. So right after the call is booked, we have them in the funnel, we have their contact, they're already scheduled on the calendar, but we're like, hey, if you want to talk now, just give us a call right now. So we have some prospects calling in as well, because we want to remove unnecessary friction from the enrollment process. When there's no clarity, there's no action. So maybe they have some quick questions and then they'll use the schedule call as a follow-up call. We have a 10-point touch point that goes out over email and SMS to further build conviction once the call is scheduled. So to recap, Atomic Social Enrollment Operating System to predictably build, scale enrollments for schools through social media advertising, like on Meta, TikTok, YouTube, is one. Starts with understanding the avatar, the market, building hooks and direct response advertising, speaking deeply to the avatar and their situation, bring them into the mini webinar, get them on a call, get them in person for a campus tour, then put them into the application enrollment process. Meanwhile, all that's happening, we're circling them with content while they're waiting for the call to happen. After the calls happen, we're circling them with different alumni testimonials, tours of the school, different events, and more alumni testimonials. So every time they pop back on their newsfeed like Instagram, we're there staying top of mind. So metrics that matter. Some people can get lost in the metrics, but keep it simple. Cost per lead, contact rate, cost per qualified call, call show rate, campus tour scheduling rate, campus tour attendance rate, enrollment rate, and most importantly, cost per enrolled student. Remember, you don't need more leads, you need more enrollments. There you have it. Hope you enjoyed that. If you have any questions, this was high level. We'll share details in the back end, and we'll share updates as we scale enrollments here. So hope you enjoyed that. Take care.